The magnificent blue whale, a gentle giant of the seas. The blue whale is the largest animal ever known to have existed on Earth. These majestic creatures can grow up to 30 meters in length. That's longer than 2 double-decker buses placed end to end. Despite their enormous size, blue whales feed on some of the smallest creatures in the ocean. They primarily eat tiny shrimp-like animals called krill. A blue whale can consume up to 6 tons of krill in a single day. Their massive mouths can hold up to 90 tons of food and water at a time. The blue whale's call is the loudest of any animal on Earth. These low-frequency whistles and rumbles can travel for hundreds of miles underwater. This allows blue whales to communicate with each other across vast distances. Sadly, blue whale populations were decimated by whaling in the 20th century. Today they are slowly recovering but still face many threats. These include ship strikes, entanglement in fishing gear, and climate change. The blue whale serves as a powerful reminder of the beauty and fragility of our marine ecosystems. When these magnificent creatures wash up on our shores, it's a tragic sight, but it's also potentially dangerous. Beached whales pose a significant risk to both humans and the environment. The danger isn't just from their sheer size. There's also a risk of explosion. As a whale decomposes on land, gases build up inside its body. The whale's tough, thick blubber acts like a pressure cooker. It traps the gases inside. As the internal pressure increases, the risk of explosion grows. The explosion can send whale parts flying in all directions. This creates a hazardous situation for anyone nearby. Authorities often face a difficult decision when dealing with beached whales. Sometimes controlled explosions are used to dispose of the carcass. The goal is to minimize risks to public health and safety. The process that leads to a whale explosion is fascinating, if somewhat gruesome. It all starts with death. When a whale dies, bacteria inside its gut begin to flourish. These bacteria break down the whale's tissues. This process produces gases like methane, hydrogen sulfide, and ammonia. In the ocean, these gases would usually escape gradually. But on land, it's a different story. The whale's thick layer of blubber acts as a seal. It traps the gases inside the body cavity. As decomposition continues, more and more gas builds up. The pressure inside the whale increases dramatically. Eventually, the weakest point gives way. When it ruptures, the result is explosive. Warmer weather speeds up decomposition, increasing the risk of explosion. This is why quick action is crucial when dealing with beached whales. The aftermath of a whale explosion is not for the faint-hearted. The blast can scatter whale parts over a surprisingly large area. In one famous case in Oregon, chunks of blubber were found a quarter of a mile away. The force of the explosion can be strong enough to damage nearby structures. It can even injure people if they're too close. The smell is another major issue. It's often described as one of the worst odors imaginable. This putrid stench can persist for weeks. It affects not just the immediate area, but can spread for miles. Local residents and businesses often suffer. Environmental concerns are also significant. The explosion spreads decomposing whale matter over a wide area. This can contaminate soil and water. Health risks are another serious concern. Protective gear is essential to avoid potential infections. Section 5. Safety First Precautions around beached whales. When encountering a beached whale, the first rule is simple: keep your distance. It may be tempting to approach these magnificent creatures, but it's crucial to remember that they are wild animals. Even if deceased, they pose significant risks. A safe distance of at least 50 meters should be maintained at all times. If you discover a beached whale, the best course of action is to contact authorities immediately. They have the expertise and equipment to handle the situation safely. Do not attempt to return the whale to the water yourself. This can be dangerous for both you and the whale. Never touch a beached whale, dead or alive. Whales can carry diseases that are transmissible to humans. As we've discussed, the buildup of gases can lead to sudden ruptures or explosions. If you're in an area where a whale has recently exploded or been disposed of, take precautions. If possible, avoid the area altogether. Section 6. Rescue Efforts. Challenges in moving massive marine mammals. Rescuing a beached whale is an enormous undertaking, both figuratively and literally. The sheer size and weight of these animals presents significant challenges. A large whale can weigh up to 200 tons. Moving such a massive creature requires specialized equipment and a lot of manpower. Time is of the essence in whale rescues. The longer a whale is out of water, the greater the risk to its health. Whales are not adapted to support their own weight on land. Their internal organs can be crushed under their own mass. They can also quickly become dehydrated and overheated. One of the main methods used to move beached whales is to create a slipway. This involves digging a trench from the whale to the water. The whale is then carefully rolled or pushed along this trench. In some cases, specially designed slings and cranes are used to lift whales. Throughout the rescue process, the whale must be kept cool and moist. Section 7. Whale Falls, Nature's Underwater Buffet. When a whale dies at sea, it creates a remarkable ecosystem known as a whale fall. As the massive carcass sinks to the ocean floor, it becomes a feast for countless marine organisms. This process can sustain life for decades, even up to 100 years for the largest whales. The decomposition of a whale fall occurs in 3 distinct stages. The first is the mobile scavenger phase. Large predators like sharks and hagfish strip away the flesh. This can take several months to 2 years, depending on the size of the whale. The second stage is known as the enrichment opportunist phase. This is when smaller creatures take over. Worms, crustaceans, and mollusks feed on the remaining soft tissues. The final stage is the sulfophilic stage. This is when bacteria break down the lipids in the whale's bones. This stage can last for decades. Section 8. The delicate balance of life and death in the ocean. Whale falls play a crucial role in ocean ecosystems. They transport large amounts of carbon from the surface to the deep sea. This process is known as the biological carbon pump. It helps regulate the Earth's climate by sequestering carbon in the deep ocean. Without whale falls, many deep sea species would struggle to survive. The importance of whale falls highlights the interconnectedness of marine ecosystems. Whales feed near the surface, but their bodies nourish life in the deepest parts of the ocean. This transfer of energy and nutrients is vital for maintaining biodiversity. However, human activities are disrupting this natural cycle. Whaling has drastically reduced whale populations. This means fewer whale falls occur naturally. Climate change is also altering ocean currents and temperatures. Conservation efforts are crucial to maintain this delicate balance. Protecting whales preserves entire ecosystems and processes that we're only beginning to understand. Section 9. Lessons from exploding whales, respect and caution. The phenomenon of exploding whales teaches us important lessons about respecting nature. It reminds us that even in death, these magnificent creatures demand our attention and care. We must approach beached whales with a combination of awe and caution. They are not just spectacles, but complex biological entities that require careful handling. These incidents also highlight the importance of proper wildlife management. Quick and appropriate response to beached whales is crucial. It's not just about public safety, it's about treating these animals with dignity, even after death. Proper disposal methods need to be employed to minimize environmental impact and public health risks. Education plays a key role in managing these situations. The public needs to understand the dangers associated with beached whales. Section 10. The future of whale conservation and beach management. As we look to the future, it's clear that whale conservation and beach management will become increasingly important. Climate change is altering ocean currents and temperatures. This could lead to more frequent whale strandings. We need to be prepared to handle these situations safely and humanely. Technology is playing a growing role in whale conservation efforts. Acoustic monitoring systems can track whale movements and help prevent ship strikes. Drones are being used to assess the health of whales from above. These tools can also help in managing beached whale situations more effectively. Beach management strategies are evolving to better handle marine mammal strandings. Some areas are developing rapid response teams specifically trained to deal with beached whales. Public engagement is crucial for the success of these efforts. Section 11. A final word on the wonders and dangers of whales. As we conclude our exploration of exploding whales, we're left with a mix of wonder and caution. Whales are truly remarkable creatures. They are the largest animals to have ever lived on our planet. Their songs can travel across oceans. Their bodies can sustain life for decades after death. Yet, as we've seen, these gentle giants can also pose unexpected dangers. The phenomenon of exploding whales is a stark reminder of the power of nature. It shows us that even in death, these massive creatures command respect. It's a vivid illustration of the complex processes that continue long after life has ended. Let us work towards their conservation and the protection of their habitats. For in understanding and respecting whales, we take a step towards better understanding and respecting our planet as a whole.